So a nuclear bomb dropped yesterday with Xbox. Phil Spencer officially retiring as of this upcoming Monday, the 23rd. He'll remain with Xbox as an advisory role until the summer. Matt Booty got a promotion. What was his new? He was now EVP and Chief Content Officer. So he's basically Triple H. Shout out to that. Sarah Bond gone, just out. And man, it's interesting to see the Sarah Bond thing because like literally the day of the nuke, she posted something on LinkedIn about Xbox accessibility, like just like an hour before all this news dropped. No one mentioned Sarah Bond except Phil Spencer in the goodbye stuff, whatever. Like the Microsoft CEO, he didn't mention Sarah at all. The verdict is that she resigned. Obviously, very possible because I think we can all assume that she was kind of like she always appeared like the hand-picked successor to Phil. So the moment this news dropped and it's not her, she probably said, "Okay, I'm out." I don't know. I could also perceive
Yeah.
it as a firing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
It
honest.
could very much also be Phil's leaving. You can leave, or we'll fire you.
Yeah, it kind of feels
It's
like
like
that.
it's like leave quietly or leave loudly.
Yeah, exactly. And we do now have our new CEO of Microsoft Gaming specifically. You know that's what they've been labeling it as for a while. Asha Sarma, who was previously the Core AI product CEO of Microsoft, which has some people concerned because she has no background in gaming at all. She's had her career has been jump position to position, climbing career ladders. So it's not going down; it's consistently going up. So shout out to that. Um, like she currently sits on the board of Home Depot and Coupang. I don't know if I pronounced that right, which is apparently the Amazon of like South Korea. Previously the CEO of Instacart and Porch Group, VP product engineering at Meta. And she has like a long opening statement. I will say a couple things. Is like her three commitments is one, great games. Two, return of Xbox, which I thought that segment was really interesting. That portion of her opening quote and the future of play. And then there is one quote that I did want to highlight because obviously, again, she was with Core AI, so that naturally brings a lot of concern, as it should, the concern should stay there, no matter what she says. But she said, as monetization AI evolve and influence its future, we will not chase short-term efficiency and flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. So shout out to her for using the word slop. That's usually just an internet term, so she used the word slop there. Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. I will add before I ask the question. Beyond her opening statement, she has been unbelievably active on Twitter in a positive way. Where it's like, because like she's got a Twitter account that she's never used, not a single post. She's had it since like 2021, never had anything. But now, obviously, with this news, now she's being very active, which can lead to the assumption it could be a bot running it or an assistant or whatever, right? But whatever. But being very active, responding to basically any account out there. Does not matter of size. Accounts that I see that are just like troll accounts as well as just like news accounts, like people of like our size kind of stuff. Responding to them, responding to people. It's just like DM me your thoughts, this and that, blah blah blah. Even doing a few deep cut. Not I wouldn't say super deep cut, but deep cut memes where it's like she responded to Xbox's official post congratulating where all she said is, "Should I bring back the blades?" referring to the blades dashboard. So shout out to that. Shout out to the deep cut there. Love that. Um, but she's saying all the right things, right? Like I mean, all the interactions she's doing with literally everyone was sharing like memes and gifs and just like, asking questions. And that was also part of like Phil's statement through this whole thing is Phil was saying that like she brings legitimate curiosity and like wanting and constantly asking questions. She's actively wanting to understand gaming and the gaming industry. So shout out. So my question with this whole thing, and my question not only goes to John and myself, but anyone watching this clip or full episode, she's saying all the right things, but obviously it's all about action. Is Xbox the damage on Xbox? Is it beyond the point of repair, or is there any chance things could change? Because again, all the right things are being said, but it's about action. Like, is the damage way too beyond the point of repair, in your opinion?
I mean, it's something we've talked about for the last couple years where it's felt like every year we get closer and closer to that moment of, oh, is it time to give up?
Yeah, is this it?
It's like we agreed like last year it was almost the time to give up on Xbox.
Yeah, true.
And the thing is, it's hard to say that Xbox is gonna come back in any way with Phil leaving.
Yeah.
Because even like, because one of the things I think I said like a year or so ago when we were talking about, because it was another segment of like Phil kind of taking the blame for a lot of the problems with
Yeah.
Xbox and
Yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
was like, how long? I think one of the things I said was like, how long do you think Phil's going to be a punching bag for them? How long do you think they're going to be able to rely on the goodwill of Phil?
Mhm.
And he's gone now. You got nobody that's going to be there just willing to be your punching bag for the like the community
Yeah,
and the
for the
fan
brand,
base.
yeah.
So whenever something goes wrong, you don't have a finger to point now, because now it's
Mhm.
like you have new head of Microsoft Gaming, not a gaming enthusiast, somebody who's curious and trying to learn.
Kudos.
Kind of a, I mean, kudos that that's your attitude. Weird that you're the one appointed.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's like you're there trying to learn and figure out what's like what to do, or like how this space works, but you're also the one in charge of the space.
yeah.
So you know what? We'll see how that goes. But I'm not optimistic. But I haven't been optimistic about Xbox in a while.
Years, yeah. No, like, I know one thing that really kinda raised eyebrows for me with all of her opening statements, as well as how she's kinda reacting online, is the return of Xbox thing. That's been the most eye-opening thing to me, where it's just like, "Okay, what do you want to do here? What's your grand plan?" Because like, there were even people that were, putting a tag up with, like, the old Xbox One case that says only for Xbox, where they were just like, hey, one of the great things that make a consoles is exclusives. Like, that pushes to us want to own this console, whatever. And she responded to that saying, I hear you, stuff like that, like, acknowledging it. And that was part of her statement, where it's like, second, the return of Xbox, we will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us as players and fans who invest in Xbox, and to the developers who build the ambitious experiences for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of a single piece of hardware. To expand PC, mobile, cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. So again, like, it kind of makes me question. It's like, okay, what is your grand plan here for like? Are you actually going to attempt to backpedal on this huge multi-plat route that they've gone this past year?
I mean, you can't necessarily do it, because the other thing is you can't bring back like the power of the name of Xbox without having the games first, but you can't you have to make the games and have the quality there that they haven't had in a decade, really.
True, true.
So it's like you have to rebuild the faith that Xbox can make the games,
Yep,
but nobody's gonna worry about the console until the games are there.
yep.
But to be able to survive, you're putting the games everywhere. So it's like you're gonna have to do that for a while. So the problem is the return of Xbox. I don't really foresee being a thing for
I
it.
don't either.
It's like
It's hard to.
if it could be a thing, if that could happen, it's a decade away at
Yeah,
least,
100%.
because
It's not this generation, that's for sure.
especially the with game development cycles, it's like big AAA games. They're on a 5-year cycle, really, to be made
Mhm.
these days. So it's like, yeah, you may have big games coming out this year or next year, which means you're probably 4 years out from a bunch of more like AAA games
Yeah.
coming out, or like maybe you have them hit over the next few years, but nobody, it's like you don't have the faith that whatever next console you're going to put out, people are going to want to buy, because we don't trust that you're going to make the games for it.
Correct. Yeah, no, I mean, now if they stick to what we're assuming and they go that more PC, console friendly shell route, then cool, I guess. But it's also gonna be about that price point. But you know, you said a decade, and I can kind of agree to that because it's like this generation's washed. It's done, right? Just make the best of it, move on, whatever. Um, I'm gonna be curious what like if they want to actively try to do that return to Xbox and maybe try to backpedal at least the slightest bit on this multi-plat route. What's gonna be the game to do it? Is it gonna be like an Elder Scrolls 6, right? Like it needs to be a big game because you already all of your pillars, you've already let them go. Like your pillars are on PlayStation or soon to be on PlayStation. Your three pillars, you've already opened the floodgates. Halo was the last standing bastion pillar, and now we have the campaign evolved coming out.
I
So
don't
like
even think you could do it with Elder Scrolls because
I don't think so either.
Elder Scrolls is
That's gonna be a disaster idea.
it's like that would it's like that's how you get people pissed off and to lose faith is to
Yeah,
be like, oh yeah, that console that nobody wants to play, you have to come here to play one of the most anticipated games
yeah.
like in the last decade.
And it's one of and like listen. We both understand the importance of exclusives, but it's like when you have a brand that's incredibly damaged, that's where it's like we have to
Yeah,
raise the questions. Like we get exclusives, but the brand is so damaged. Like if they did that, dude, oh buddy.
yeah. Yeah, the problem is, like you said, they don't have anything to to try to bring people over. They don't have any first parties that they can sit down with and go, "This is what's going to bring you to Xbox." They'd have to have something new or to bring or like a reboot or something to try to bring people back.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like maybe you do something that maybe you spend the next decade building up a new IP and you do some smaller games and you create your new pillars
Mhm.
and you do some smaller scale games and build them up. Kind of like I would say in a sense, kind of Sony with like their Astro,
I can see that, yeah.
like because like they had their
Sony's pillars have changed.
well, yeah, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Sony's. It's like with Sony, I mean, they had their like Astro. I mean, obviously Astro Bot, but then
Yeah.
they had Astro's Playroom.
Playroom, yeah.
They had the Astro like
Like
VR
yeah,
games,
yeah.
and it's like that built up over time and has become essentially Sony's mascot.
Yeah, yeah, for us, yeah. No, for over here in the yeah, over here in the States, yeah, they saw our mascot.
And it's like maybe Xbox can do something like that.
Yeah.
Build. It's like pick a couple things, couple different genres of game maybe, and try to just build up your new pillars over time.
Yeah. Because I mean, the time thing is accurate because I mean, Sony's pillars change because I mean, we can look at the PS2 era and their pillars was, Kratos, you know, Ratchet, and I would argue Sly as well, like as three of their
I
pillars.
mean, one of those is still a pillar.
Exactly. One of those is still a pillar, and now we transfer to our generation, and now it's Astro, it's Kratos, it's Aloy. Like those are like their pillars now. So it's like their pillars changed. I mean, Xboxes can too. From Chief to Marcus and a car with Forza. But the pillars can change if you just take
Yeah.
time on it.
So it's like, yeah, maybe they can try to build up over time. It's like I'm more curious because I look at like bringing the like essentially rebuilding Xbox or rebuilding the name of Xbox or something. Yeah, the way I look at that is like you could almost view it as instead of building the console, like the console name and the console power or the power of the name, I guess is the way to say it,
Hmm.
to try to get people to come back to it necessarily. Instead of that, you just build the name itself.
Yeah.
So it's like it's essentially trying to rebuild what they've been essentially just left to crumble for the last 8 to 10 years,
Right.
and like try to rebuild the faith in the brand as opposed to rebuild the console brand itself.
Mm.
Where it's like, yeah, we may not be the best console around, but you still want to come to us because you have faith in us. Because right now, nobody has faith in Xbox.
Facts. Facts. I will also say with the Phil Spencer's retirement and stuff, there's obviously been a lot of different conversation about it online because there's two different arguments that can be made with Phil and his time with Xbox. One is that he was absolutely terrible in the role because, like, look at the games that came out. Very valid, very very valid. There was no like set the world on fire games. There was a lot of disaster situations, but there was a lot of like just good games that came out. But then on the other side of the coin, like created Game Pass, further pushed accessibility, made backwards compatibility a hard standard with how they approached it with Xbox. Like there was a lot of positives to what he
His
brought.
his role was to try to grow the brand, not and it's like, yeah, he didn't they suffered a lot with games in general.
Yeah.
And yeah, their console name is basically worthless at this point.
Microsoft Gaming.
But also, like you said, they've created one of the largest brands in the world with Game Pass.
Yeah.
And it's like it's one of the largest, most successful like gaming things out there
Yeah.
with Game Pass. And it's like, yeah, it's not it's not the way we wanted to see it go. And yeah, a lot of other things suffered under his leadership. But his entire role was basically experiment to try to grow the brand.
Yeah.
So he shot from the hip and he tried some weird shit.
That's true.
And not everything worked.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of heat, and he was the target for a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to respect he tried just about anything.
Yeah, he did.
He was willing to be like,
roll the dice.
He was willing to go into meetings and someone pitched something and he would go, let's try it.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Look, like there's a lot of criticism that I think is justified with him, and while you were talking and describing this, I thought of another major person in the industry that's kind of similar, Jeff Keighley. As much as like criticism as both these guys deserve in their respective lanes that they stay in, what they mean well, right? They both mean well in their both respective lanes of what they were trying to accomplish. They're both gamers and they both mean well. So I got to give kudos for that. And it's also apparent, man, when you see Phil Spencer retire and everyone and their mother is praising him online and then thanking him and like wishing him the best. And I saw someone point this out. Boy, it was a totally different reception when Jim Ryan retired.
It's like
it's a totally different reception.
Because it's one where, for all of the faults and all of the blame and all of the times Phil Spencer had to sit in front of the camera while like Xbox and Microsoft just went, "You're eating this."
Yeah, go get punched in the face for
it's like
15 minutes.
It's your job. He would show up he would show up to every event. He would show up to every conference. He would show up to every Xbox showcase, every award show, every Keighley presentation.
Yeah.
He would come out in front with a smile on his face. And it's like he was there because he loved it.
Yeah. No.
And you know what? You got to respect him for that.
Yeah. Got to respect him.
It's like you respected him because he did a lot of shit people didn't agree with. But he was trying.
Yeah, he tried. He got dealt a horrible hand. Let's be fair. Let's be extremely fair. He got dealt a terrible hand.
Also, we also all recognize for the last 2 years, Xbox and Microsoft basically just been pushing him out there, going, "Hey, we know people like you.
Yeah. You're the one saving grace.
We got bad news. Go tell them.
Yeah, go tell them the bad news that's happening right now. That's beyond your control.
Yeah, it's not. You're not the one making the decision, or it's not your fault. But people like you, so you tell them."
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, no, it is that's kind of the difference there, because it's like we all look at him and we're like, "Yeah, you know what? You tried."
Yeah.
We look at Jim Ryan, we go, "Fuck you."
No, fuck Jim, man, dude. We're about to talk about PlayStation here in a minute because I got a question about everything that went down. But yeah, fuck Jim, fuck that guy. God, I can't stand Jim Ryan. Happy retirement, Phil, but fuck you, Jim. And fuck you for that special console and controller you got at your retirement that you will never use. We all know you don't use it. Dick. Anyway, the whole everything with the Xbox thing, it's all gonna be a wait and see. Saying the right things, but actions what's important.
Yeah, it's saying the right things, and the other thing is anything that happens, I would say in the next 2, maybe 3 years,
That yeah.
you can't really attribute any of that to this new change and new
Yes.
direction that they're
Yeah.
going for.
It's
Because
still
anything in the next 2 to 3 years is stuff that is already in motion and has been in motion for an extended period of time.
correct.
About 4, 3, 3.5, 4 years from now is when we're gonna be seeing the effects of this change in leadership.
Yes. So, whenever Jim Ryan retired, we stress that where it's just like, hey, like anything that comes out of these next few years, negative, good, whatever, like you have to attribute it to Jim, right? And it was also like that's why Jim got some at least a decent boost when he came in because he was thriving off of Sean Layden.
Yeah.
He was thriving off of Sean Layden's approvals and green lights.
Yeah.
So
'Cause,
like when Jim Ryan started, it was like, oh yeah, great Jim Ryan. It's like no,
yeah.
that was Sean. That was
Yeah, it's
not
like
Jim.
that's one thing that's why I wanted to mention is like
Yeah.
you gotta remember if this next year it's just win after win after win for Xbox, a lot of that's gonna be Phil.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of that's gonna be stuff Phil approved,
Yeah. Like
or maybe he's been helping with this transition
yeah.
process, and maybe some of this is gonna be attributed to her and that. But at the same time, it is what it is. It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be I'd say 3 years before we see the true effects of this.
I agree. Because, like, let's say Fable comes out this year and is absolute smashing success, Phil's regime. Clockwork Revolution comes out when it does, smashing success, Phil's regime. I mean, like, obviously, she's going to continue to help. Her and Matt are going to continue to help drive it along, but it was still the previous regime into this regime. So I'll be really curious to see, like, what she brings to the table, and as well as Matt, now that he's in his new role. And what they can approve and green light, and what we'll see 2 years from now. What we'll see get revealed, next Xbox showcase in 2027. Like what's going to be revealed there? What's going to be revealed in 2028? That's what I want to see because that's going to really kind of dictate on what they're working on and cooking. So